You know those things that some guitar players say that just make you want to slap them after they say it? Yeah, we're going to talk about some of those today. Now, since I am a guitar player, I can say the things I'm going to say in this video because we've all been guilty of at least a few of them. This is a list of the top 10 most cringe-worthy things that guitar players say. Number 1. This guitar plays like butter. I'm only going to say this once. If you use this phrase to describe any guitar that you have ever played, I don't even want to know what in the hell you do with this. I don't want to know. I don't want to know because it ain't the same thing that I do when I pick up a guitar. Number 2, it's all subjective. This is what guitar players say when they need to invalidate somebody else's opinion the instant that they find out that it disagrees with their own. For example, it's all subjective. No, really it's not, dude. Those BC Rich BDSM pickups really do sound like shit. I mean dog shit. Always have. And I love BC Rich guitars, but those pickups sound like shit. Not subjective. Number 3. It sounds cold and sterile. Okay, look, I get it. As musicians, we tend to use some pretty strange terms that if you're not a musician, a guitar player in particular, you might not understand what the meanings are. You know, we, as guitar players and musicians in general, we understand the meanings of terms like bright and warm and dark. You know, we understand those. Bright being excessive on the treble side, warm being, strong in the mid-range, and of course dark meaning strong in the bottom end frequencies. But every now and again you run into that guitar player who wants to use, even stranger terms like cold and sterile when they want to describe something and make their opinion sound better than somebody else's when they're whining and moaning about a piece of gear that they don't like the sound of. Come on, we've all met those people and we're all thinking the exact same thing when they say shit like this. Huh? 4. I wish these pickups had more bite to them. What the fuck are you talking about? Number 5. What strings are good for tuning to drop W? This one is particularly popular among metal guitar players. Metal guitar players always want to ask their friends and people, other people on the metal guitar forums what the best piece of gear is, be it strings or picks or amps or guitars or whatever, is best for metal. Rather than just go try out some shit and see what you like and make your own decision. They need to have their decisions pre-validated by the masses before they go and make their purchase because God forbid, they buy something that they actually like, but that somebody else won't. I've never understood that logic, but I see it all the time. It seems to go hand in hand with the people always looking for purchase validation. And you know the type, people that will come up on and ask you for your opinion on a particular piece of gear that they have already purchased. Number 6, only a fool pays over $1,000 for a guitar. The guitar player who says this either A, can't afford a guitar over $1,000, or B, has never, either is not experienced enough or has never played a guitar over $1,000 and just simply doesn't know the difference. Number 7, only a fool would buy a cheap import guitar. This one is obviously the flip side to number 6 on this list. This one is usually said by guitar players who do in fact have the money to buy nothing but high-end guitars, and if you have the ability to do that, by all means, knock yourself out. But it's when you go and turn your nose up and look down at other people who may not have the same resources to buy gear that you do. Number 1, that ain't cool, and number 2, that makes you a colossal-sized douchebag. Number 8, the buffer in Boss pedals is actually a terrible buffer. Here's how you can have some fun with this asshole. Ask him to provide you with an example of a pedal that actually has a good buffer, as opposed to the terrible buffer that comes in Boss pedals. And if he actually does give you an example, ask him to give you proof. Show you what he means sonically and and or otherwise, what the difference is between a good buffer and a bad buffer. You might want to get comfortable after you call him out on that, because you're going to be waiting a while. Number 9. The tone of this guitar is really organic. This is like bite from pickups. What in the hell are you talking about? Define organic tone. Number 10. Oh, there's definitely a huge difference in tone between those two identical pieces of gear. This is the asshole that seems to think that he has Superman's hearing and that he can hear subtle differences in tone much better than everybody else can. Right? Yeah. The guy that's comparing the sound between two identical unmodified Ibanez TS9 tube screamers, for example, and claims that he can hear a huge, huge difference in sound from one to the other, but nobody else seems to know what he's talking about. Yeah, these people do that because they need to be able to prop up their own egos and somehow prove to the rest of the world that there is a huge, huge difference in what he's hearing compared to what everybody else is hearing. So for whatever reason, he has to have something that justifies him being a colossal-sized douchebag so that he's able to talk down to other people and feel like he is entitled to do so. Way to go, dude. One problem. Nobody's buying your bullshit. So that's it. That's my list of the top 10 most cringeworthy things that guitar players say. Let me know what the top 10 most cringeworthy things you hear guitar players say are, and drop it down in the comments section. Maybe we'll do a part 2 of this video. Comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Do the YouTube thing. Thank you so much for watching. Adios.